I've always been curious about technology. This is the first time that I'm using AI in any of my courses. I wanted to create opportunities for students to know that it was okay to use AI in my courses in certain ways at least.
Personally, I'm interested in learning about these technologies, and I always find that students bring a lot of expertise and more experience to class that I can also learn from them. So I like to explore that, especially its pedagogical potential.
So I used it to create activities for the class, to just introduce students to the idea of the use of AI and thinking about it critically.
I already noticed that in my Chinese class, some students might use it, and then I still don't know how to grasp it.
So I'd really thought deeply about AI, but not really in a pragmatic sense in terms of how I might incorporate it into my own pedagogy. I'd had no experience using NotebookLM, nor had I ever really heard about it before this semester.
But you can give it specific documents, specific information, and then anything that you ask the chatbot, it will first try to ground its response in the knowledge base, in the documents that you've given it.
If you ask a question, it provides direct citations to the sources that you've uploaded. And that's what we're looking for our students to do, is communicate where they're getting their ideas from.
I used it to create for in-class activities, more of active learning.
This course I'm teaching, it brings a lot of interdisciplinary perspectives. They were able to build more confidence about their own understanding after checking with the NotebookLM.
I incorporated NotebookLM really as a custom chatbot for the students. If they couldn't make it to my office hours during a week, or it was the night before the exam and they found that they had some last-minute questions,
I can use different combination, pair this set of reading with another set of reading, and then how they can generate different questions. I feel it can be a very good, useful tool.
And I felt like it would be a good moment for me to talk about language away from humans, right? So I used it to create activities for the class, to just introduce students to the idea of the use of AI and thinking about it critically.
We've been in this defensive crouch of just kind of sitting back and worrying about whether and how students were using the tools, but it's time to try things out and see what works and what doesn't. It is scary, even as someone who's been curious about AI for the past couple of years, who's tried out some various things on my own. I still have some anxiety about it because it's hard to know what's possible and what's not, and things are changing so fast, but it's also exciting and liberating.
Maybe have a more extended conversation with students about why. And I think the classroom is a great space for us to have that conversation and to get us to think and talk about why are you against it? I mean, I can give you a long list of why I would be against it, right? But I'm also using it as a tool to talk about things that are very, very important.
I'm someone who was very hesitant to use AI and realized that this is a reality. This is the world that we live in. And so what it took from me was just my own kind of vulnerability to tell students, hey, I'm learning about this too. Let's try some things. Let's kind of effectively learn together as part of this experiment.
If we go to the class and assuming they're going to do bad things with the technology, I mean, students can tell your attitude. I develop different specific AI policies tied to the specific learning goals of that assignment. But now I shifted from reading responses to reflecting on the learning of the reading and the learning with AI and the learning of AI. And that is a process of helping build in mutual understanding, building the trust with students.
How we use AI to, make our pedagogy more effective. I think that this is still, we're still at the early stage of learning, but I think we should be more open to it and to be more proactive to find good policy or good combination of using AI to help students learning.
I think there had been this tendency for students to feel like their hands were getting slapped anytime they uttered anything about use of AI. And for me to walk in and say, hey, I actually want us to figure out how to effectively use this. You're all a part of this experiment with me. That was very freeing for them. And I think it allowed them to do better work.
If we just take some time, some effort to play around, try some things out, we're going to have successes. We're going to figure out things that work. And I'm excited about that.